Hi, everybody. This is Joanna. Thank you so much for tuning in. So excited with a beautiful day. And so great that you could join us again. And we're so happy for you to be here, knowing that we've called in all of the teams and all of the fairies and all of the angels and all of the highest vibrational beings. Thank you, Arcturians, Pleiadians, Syrians, and all of the Hathors and all of the beautiful beings that are assisting us in moving in our journey of awakening and remembrance of who we are as spirit. And I'm really excited. We're going to create weekly short light language and sound videos that we've been talking about for a while. And it's really, really exciting. It's needed right now more than ever because of these big, profound shifts that we've got going on energetically. December has always really been a really great month for, the reignition of who we are in oneness. That oneness is our sacred heart with one another, the song that we sing to one another. And we've talked about before that our soul comes with encodings, and within the center of every cell, the nucleus of the entire universe. And that coding within the center is the soul's song's coding of what each of us are here as the blessing of Source Creator. And there's far more intricate and elegant plans on what this means and how it is offered. Because each and every one of us, we come with the desire and the ache through our awakening to explore, experience, and express all that we are. And why that inner seeking and that inner knowing of who are we, what do we exist within, and what exists within us, that micro, macro, elegant flowing experience through time and through all that we are, allowing us to integrate those soul aspects of all that we are, to create that wholeness, that oneness. Thank you, Spirit. To create all of those energies of all that we are, renewing our soul, renewing our sense of self through all of these self-actualization moments, because it's not only, self-actualization isn't only when you reach 5D. It's a moment for moment surrendering to the heart and living from the heart space. And why ascension is never a mental game. It's always a renewal of who we are as light. Breathing in all that we are, opening that pillar of light, so we're receiving our highest codes, and we're receiving the renewal and the regeneration through all of our cells as becoming greater light, and that beautiful accentuation of light. And why that micro, macro, benevolent flowing breath assists us in becoming all that we are. And we wanted to talk this morning about being the greatest gift that you are to creation, and the blessing that Source has birthed you as. And this is a co-creative experience between Source, Creator, and the universe. And through all the timelines and the lifetimes that you are, this oneness with Source, you have the encoding within you as that sacred gift. And part of and why I'm clearing it's really important, and why I'm saying that is because part of my sacred gift to come forward was the sacred gift of sound and crystalline sound. And that crystalline sound helps create, and it's so exciting. The crystalline frequencies that our entire universe is made up of, the crystalline sacred geometry, the sound harmonic that is Source, the omnipresent that we all move and float within, that is our beautiful oneness of creation, how we entangle and we live ourselves within it, the most magnificent energies that Source is. And what we're really getting excited about is that all of these new templates and timelines are starting to really span out in the blessing that we are becoming, because each of us are now awakening to bigger and bigger aspects of our souls, garnering in our wholeness and in our oneness, garnering in those codes and those experiences to offer those timelines, and done so through that healing and the clearing of the dense soul aspects, those ones that don't feel comfortable, the ones that we see reflected to us in our reality that we often tend to judge and demean and subjugate as separation of, thank you, Spirit, them being separate from us. We are all one, because those are aspects that we're here to heal. There's aspects of us that we're here to accept and honor within ourselves through forgiveness and compassion. So all is an experience of you creating that inner integration of wholeness. And as we do so, we activate those higher gifts. As we're releasing that density, we open up to those ascended aspects of us. We call in those gifts to add to the greater whole that is growing. And as a collective, our whole is growing. The hearts of our collective is moving and shifting in such a way at great capacity and great speed that all of us are waking to these really great gifts. And why it's really important that we gather and we commune, so that the collective light of how we gather and how we offer one another creates these pulling up sacred light codes, sacred geometry that creates those templates for others to also play upon and walk upon. And it's really great for a numerous amount of collectives that have been going through such stagnancy and de-evolution and disenfranchisement. And it's really important that these codes are placed within that loving, the gorgeous sacred breath, that sacred song, and the sacred blessing that we each are within the all. And even though we might not know it or sense it or feel it, there are those of us that can feel it within the fields and within the grids of that vibration that's held within that experience. And we say space, but it's really the vibrational experience, because space is an illusion. Location is a vibrational experience. And that's how we in future begin to travel beyond what we know to be our environment, if you will. It's a vibration that we attune with in our consciousness, and then we simply align to it, and we bilocate, or we dematerialize and then materialize in another location. And so these are all things that we will be getting used to in these higher expansive experiences. And it is through that sound harmonic of understanding yourself as vibration, and why sacred sound and light language is so important. In part of all processes, not only the healing process, the clearing of the density and the calcium, but it's also really important for our co-creation, because as higher vibrational beings, we would be co-creating in a very different way than we did in 3D. 3D was very lower mind, experientially manifested. And from here on out, the highest mechanism that we have is our hearts. So how we move, how we heal, how we co-create our systems, how we change our systems, how we rewrite our systems, how we write our own soul story with Source, is through our hearts. That's where we offer the highest level of flow and capacity that is Source Creator. The Divine Mother and the Father, and us as the sacred child as being the experience of joy, and the experience of joy and excitement and exploration and curiosity, and all of those things that we are as sacred children. And so today we wanted to offer a sacred sound. So they'll be singing and toning, clearing. And why it's really important, that we've said before, is just to sit back and open and receive. Just honor if you've been, we'll put it in the title. So if you have been intrigued by the title, then that means there's something in this for you. These are multidimensional light codes, which means that they're multidimensional, and they change every time you listen to it, because it's also changing within the field of the all. It's not just a one-time encapsulated experience. It changes as you do, as you listen to it. And that's the purpose of it. It's light language. It's a multi-dimensional experience of sound and sacred geometry and light. There's so much clearing going on as they're getting me ready. And I'm really excited, because they're kind of introducing me more and more as every week goes on. The kind of the sacred, flowing river that I'm going to be connecting with. And part of it is to be that tapestry weaver of sacred sound and sacred experience through the divine mind, the divine Source Creator, being a conduit, a vessel through which sound and sacred tongue and sacred information is honored and offered. And part of that will be the sacred weaving that I create, and why I've been honoring the movement process and moving my sound, moving my hands, and being a part of this multidimensional flow, because it's a tapestry of energy. So this is what they've been offering me, and it's a weaving and a tapestry. And there's many, many other councils and consciousness and beings that are also within this weaving. And that's how we co-create those template fields, the code template fields that matter becomes a part of. And so it's very sacred. It's very, very sacred. And what they wanted to give me in accordance and in addition to this is that, how do we allow ourselves to not only feel sacred and know that all that we are creating is sacred, the breath we breathe is going into the sacred breath, and then becoming more sacred breath, light creating greater light. And that sacred breath renews and regenerates all that we are as sacred, honoring who we are and honoring what we are, and how we're able to freely express who we are, freely explore who we are in the beauty and the freedom and the liberation of all that we are. And that's why we're here, to be liberated, to be sovereign, and to be that sacred gift. So what they wanted to thread me back to was a quote from Socrates of be at one with the blessing and the gift that you are, as Source Creator, from Source Creator. And they've often been giving these Socrates quotes. I'm not sure why. I think I had other lifetimes as a philosopher, but I remember taking philosophy in college, and I failed horribly. I ended up dropping out in the first semester. It was so hard. Every time I went to go and talk to the prof, he looked at me as if I was so ridiculous. It was so funny. And I thought what I was saying was quite profound, but it obviously wasn't. And I ended up flunking out because it was just way too hard. And it was just like so mind bending. Obviously, the prof didn't think anything about what I was bringing to the table. And they keep referring me back to Socrates. It's like, what? I failed that. Can we move on to something new? So they're threading me back into it. But now I enjoy it a lot more than I did back then. It's so funny. Oh, my teens. And so what we're going to do is we're going to intro light language. So we've introduced it to you. So just open up and receive at the heart level. That's all you have to do. I'm opening up for this beautiful sacred light language teams. Can you assist me in honoring what needs to be cleared, what needs to be activated? And then they will assist you in that movement and the massaging of those codes within your fields in your body. So just know that that is a knowing. As I am, so my name is. I'm a part of these sacred codes. I'm a part of what Source Creator offers me. I'm a part of what the divine offers me. I'm part of the harmonic song that is Gaia, that is all things, that is Metatron, that is Melchizedek, that is all the light council orders, all that we are enthreaded with, becoming more of who we are as ascended beings. And the second part is about being that blessed gift and being that knowing that in you as you are the gift that Source blessed you as. And within this, there is an infinite and eternal, unconditional, expansiveness of who you are as the gift, continually offering itself as a gift. And when we pour ourselves into this, knowing that we are the gift and that's all that's needed, and that love of the gift that we are, that joy of the gift that we are, the exaltation of all that we are, then that is in and itself enough, and nothing else has to be understood. So they keep reminding me that it doesn't have to be understood as long as you're living from this joyful place and offering it forward unconditionally, releasing expectation, releasing outcome, and just know that all is in the divine mind and the divine eye. It's not for us to know that. It's not for us to control the expectations and outcomes. Just live in your joy and being the excited child that you are as the gift that you were born to be, that you've always been. But they've been conditioned out of us because of the ego expectations and the having to, to drive results and manifest all of these lower vibrational experiences that are a part of the game, yes, but it's not who we are as spirit creating matter. When we want to understand ourselves as spirit creating matter, we tend to care more. Right? We want to create something that's beautiful and sacred because we've had everything else and it hasn't worked. And it's been a lot of trauma and damage, and it's been a lot of imbalance and a lot of suppression and a lot of wars. And so now it's a time for us to really take sacred pause and reflect upon the blessing that we are, the gift that we are, to be a part of that harmonic co-creation that is a higher vibrational reality. It's not just a and this is one thing that they're showing me right now. It's not a separative experience. Ascension is like, I'm going to ascend and I'm going to be this one ascending, and no, it's about this harmonic resonance of being joyful in who you are. That is this natural flowing experience. And in doing so, your body will become lighter, because when you live from a space of joy, when you live in the elegance that is joy and the song that is joy, then you naturally and evermore become present in your own oneness as light, as the essence of all that you are as light. It's not something that's held outside of you. You have to get, you have to manifest. It's not, it's just the flowing blessing of who you are as the gift of Source. And so, so be at one with the gifts of who you are as Source Creator. And what does that mean? When we talk about gifts, we're thinking of the gift that we offer, or a creative tool, or a creative experience and expression that we are in the process of doing and exploring. Yes, and more than that. The gift that we mean as you as a vessel of light, you as the embodiment of Source, you as the presentation of Source in divine male and divine feminine and sacred child. It's a harmonization of all that you are. You are the all gift. And in this all being gift, remember, you're all and your being, this all being gift, you become that absolute blessing that you offer yourself to creation as, and will be flowing back to you in kind, in all ways, in infinite ways, in eternal ways, because that's Source. Your abundance needs will be met. Your tribe, your housing, whatever it is that you think you need will be met. And it's not that game of what do I have to get? How can I afford this? Well, those are those old world experiences of managing your environment and managing your outcome. And that's not how higher vibrational living will occur. It will be to simply be and live as the blessing and the gift that you are as source. And in doing so, all will be brought to you. The clients that you need, the funding that you need, the people that you need, the health that you need, the wisdom that you need. It's just that natural occurring process in the evolutionary flow of the blessing of creation. When you live as the gift, you receive as the gift. When you know as the gift, you be as the gift. And that's a complete mind shift from what we've been taught in every way. So let's do this. And so I am a tapestry weaver. I'm a vibrational tapestry weaver. And they've been giving this to me for the past weeks, that I can begin to feel into and understand these changes and these shifts about the embodiment and the beautiful gift that I am as creation, and how I offer myself to creation in an infinite number of ways, because I've come here as a teacher. I love teaching. It's just one of my, I just love being in the connection of offering sacred wisdom. And in that is the tapestry weaving of the sacred tongue that is the Christ, and the words of the Holy Mother and the Holy Father from the highest light languages in the interpretation that I can offer. However, they're showing me that because of the limitation of our language, there are only the understandings from what we seem to hear or what we seem to watch as the language that is the flow, but light language and the Christic offering, because I'm a vibrational healer and offering of the Christ consciousness. There's constant transmutations and translations through vibration, through what we offer. And you'll get that. You don't have to understand it because there's far more going on than what the words and the eyes can think is going on, because that's the lower mind, that we are entraining into a higher vibrational way of understanding, receiving, and sending information as light. So be okay with that. And just drink lots of water. And again, when you listen to it, and if you listen to it more than once, you will receive different messages each time. And there will be codes activated in divine timing. And our intention is to send out these beautiful and loving, the highest vibrational codes through the holy beings that are with us in this moment, also massaging these within the fields, and the Holy Mother Father that will speak through me. They will be the gift that you are, and honoring the intentions and the codes that we are placing within the sacredness of all that we are becoming. And when we pour again all that we are as a gift, I am a gift, I'm a gift, I love myself as the gift, I'm so sacred as the gift, I'm so sacred that I get to offer myself as the gift. And you're opening to receive yourself as this gift, then allow it to be whatever it is. Again, releasing expectation, outcome, and what you think it might have to look like or be, because you have no idea. Just like me, when I started Ascension 10 years ago, I had no idea what any of this would ever amount to. I just wanted to share. I would learn and gather as much as I could, and then I wanted to share. That's how it started for me. And then it just changed over time, because as I released density and as I became more awake of who I was and my remembrance, I wanted to get more excited about what and how I shared, because that's evolution, you know. And that's how many, they're reminding me, thank you, teams. That's how many will be light workers and healers. Many will be changing how they share and how they heal, because there's many gifts that are coming online that are not like how they were in our yesterday. You know, there's so much that's changing, so have that be okay. And so our topic today, as we've gone through our intro, I'm trying to keep these really short, but there's new people that sign on and listen to these, so they need that intro. Thank you, teams. Thank you, teams. Thank you, the Divine and Holy Gaia. Thank you. So there will be movement that I'm be moving, and I'm doing my tapestry and my weaving. And you can feel free to play along too. Please feel free. Allow yourself to be the spirit that you are and be joyful. And there's many clients that have emailed me and said, you know, when I listen to it, I end up singing and dancing around like a fairy, and that's lovely. That's what's inspired, and that's what's meant to occur. Be joyful in your new movement as being a higher vibrational being, because you're accelerating your cells, you're releasing the density, you're allowing yourself to play and be the joyful child, which is exactly what our collectives need right now, is the ability to be okay and give yourself permission to be the sacred child and the blessing that you are. And that's what we're meant to be living like. And then, so there will be a sound, there will be song, and there will be light language. And there will be sounds and ticks coming in from various beings and consciousness through the Holy Mother Father, that it's like this beautiful flowing river, if you will. And in this flowing river, there's codes and there's There's glyphs and there's energies being infused through that song. And so it will serve what it needs to whom it needs to. And again, there's many, 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 many groups of consciousness that are massaging these codes, but it has to be anchored in human form. From above the highest codes, anchor it through our beingness and our vessel, and allowing the source creator to flow through us. And this is really passionate and loving for me because I love to sing. And it will sound different when I get set up in my new office and my new space. I will be creating and getting a proper sound microphone, and we'll be getting it set up so that it will be more, more audible, because the speakers on the laptop aren't good enough. And all of the microphones I've bought various different headsets when I had my radio show, and none of them worked. No matter how much money I spent on them, there was just constant problems of headphones and microphones. It was just a constant issue. So I just stopped buying them. I said, just whatever. I'm just going to do this, and it's going to sound like it is, and that's just the way it's going to be. And so when I get my next space set up, it will be a proper sound room through which we can create those experiences in various forms that people can listen to it in the way that's meant to, like the beautiful binaural, and Cephallia go, sacred sounds. They're very sacred, and they do help the body and the brain and the shifting of those energies. And then, there's the laptop singing that I do. It is what it is. So sit back and enjoy. And then there might be a channel and a wisdom from a being. There's many, many beings in consciousness. You might see my body move because of the consciousness beings that are flowing through me, because they come in and out so fast. And then I have to slow it down to interpret it. So just know that this is a multidimensional experience, and I move and I shift based on what's moving through me, because more often than not, it's not a one being. It's a consciousness, a collective. There's very few beings that come to me. Even when Master Jesus comes to me, he is a collective. So he is a collective of the Christ. And so he comes to me in how I see him, but his collective through me is becoming bigger and bigger. And that's why in some of our ancient texts, Amara Kuan Yin, thank you, Amara Kuan Yin was one of the first light workers that was talking about the various statutes of our sacred ascended masters and teachers like Saint Germain and Jesus, and how there was 20-foot Jesuses and 40-foot Jesuses, depending on the level of consciousness that we were tapping into and calling down into anchor to earth. And there are very specific reasons for that. And those are also written about in the texts that I've interpreted from J.J. Hurtak's. So if anybody wants any really great ascension books, that's really from one of many of the books. I think I've got a lot of his books. J.J. Hurtak. He's a doctor. Him and his wife have been writing about his channeling experience that he had many, many years ago. And it has been on point. And my teams are constantly refer me back to the Book of Enoch and the Book of Wisdom, because there was other lifetimes where I helped write it in other texts. So I don't know whether it's other lifetimes, but it's a book that I've helped co-create. And they refer me back to it because it ignites the remembrances in my field. Because there's many, many books of wisdoms based on whatever timeline and whatever frequencies that we've come to insert our energy and our wisdom as. So just know that. Just as if there's many different timelines and different, these always get longer. Trying to make it short. That when the studies of Jesus and the timelines of Jesus are always so skewed and back and forth, because there's an infinite number of timelines that he comes in and out of. And so the timelines and the accurate chronology will never match up, because they're all vibrational, just like each and every one of us are on a different timeline every moment. It's based on where our vibration is and how we choose to come in and out of timelines to help anchor that Christ consciousness into the grids for the awakening of the whole collective. Okay, so let's begin. Remember, everything is multidimensional. There is no time. It is always now, 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 now. And why? Every time you listen to it, it'll be a new now. So our intentions are the blessings and the excitements, living as the sacred child, being that gift, being that blessing, being the gift of who you are from source, as source. Those are the intentions that we're placing within these codes. And however they are blessed, that might be a healing of your lack of worth. It might be a clearing of not knowing what your gifts are. So that's why these are multidimensional, and you can intend it to be that. I choose to use this light language as a clearing so that I get more in touch with what my gifts are. And I'm asking my teams to assist me. Clearing out the sacral, clearing out the I am presence. Clearing it out, and allow those codes to come in and replace. And I reach up for my new codes. I am creative. I am a blessing. I am a gift. Remember, as you clear, you reach up for what is new now. You reach up for what is new now. Remember, you're always in training yourself to a higher vibration. And these are also really good to play around the house. Like as we said a long time ago, I think about a year ago, we were talking about the 5D loop. And we have many recordings on our YouTube about the 5D loop. Some of them are affirmations, some of them are singing in sacred sound. So just put them on a loop and just play them. And it's good to have around the house because that's also placing them in the codes and in the grids of wherever you are. So they're showing me that there's those of you that are placed in certain locations that will be appropriate for where they're going to assist in helping those codes be placed. So there's far more going on than we ever understood. But just know that you're a part of the dance. When you're open and allowing and excited at your heart, it will be a dance and it will be so elegant and beautiful. And each time you do, you will be inspired more and more, great into flowing into the grandness and the renewal of who you are as source. It's really remarkable. And so just sit back and just allow yourself to receive. Thank you so much, Spirit. Spirit's always with us. Thank you, Spirit. I'm a space holder for Spirit. We're calling in the highest beings and the elegance of all that we are as the divine and sacred Spirit. And I always do an introduction and a pro and a prayer and an invocation to open up all of that I am as a multidimensional being of the Holy Christ. Thank you, Holy Mother and Father, for allowing me to be the sacred vessel of all that you are and the conduit of the Holy Christ. Thank you for all the beings that are assisting us in this moment of now to massage and to help us clear and to help us remove any and all energies that are harmful and dense and dark and anything that is in our way to becoming our highest and our best, knowing that we are all naturally and all is neutral as source. It is a beautiful and elegant dance and it all is required. But right now, we allow ourselves in the commandment of who we are to clear away what is no longer serving so that we can allow ourselves to dance and be in joy of who we are. For the creation and for the energy, it's of the all. And they're saying to me, for those of you that are excited to do so, and many of you that like to dance, we know you're there. If you like to dance like the fairies, please do so and be your own intricate weaver of light and language, and just move your hands and be of grace and be of joy and be of sacredness, because this also helps in the movement of beautiful energy. So they're showing me many of you dancing and being fairies. And we're calling in also the fairy collective, thank you, and the divine Elohim. They're calling in the Mula and the energies of sacred Gaia, sacred Gaia, sacred Gaia. Thank you, Holy Mother, Father, and thank you, Holy Christ. Thank you, Holy Christ, and the councils of light to please assist us in allowing ourselves to dance and be the blessing and the gift that is God, being the blessing that we are as the divine essence of sacred matter, sacred creating matter, sacredness creating matter, and that all life are sacred, and all life is a gift. All is valued. All is the treasure of the Holy God. All is the treasure of all that we are. And as we pour all of ourselves as God into all things, so too we are. Thank you, Holy Mother and Father. Quay anh này xia 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 mà xiao mà thế xia xia nó cắt nó mà sai nó cắt quay xia mà bắt mà mà xia xia mà xia mà xia mà cắt xia mà sai xia xia Shia ama katake sia. Hi shia ma ke shia ma katake ya ma mai katake she ma katake sia. Quick ama katake sia. Hi mama katake shia mama Hi, mama katake shia mama katake Here I shia mama katake shia na shia mama katake na 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 Ai shishi mama katake sia sia ai mama katake ai ho et ke she ana katake o shishi mama katake ai ana katake hai katake o shia mama katake ai katake hai katake Sacred beauty and gifts Hi, Shama, Katike, Hi, Ama, I take so up, Ama, to Hoy, and the cut, my shit, another my Mama Katike, my shisha, the Hoa another kataka, Hoi Ama Kataka. Ha mama kataka. Hi. Na babatka. Babatka. Hi. Ya mama katik ama. Wait, mama kataka. Ma it. Otia mulania matnet nemania. Oh yeah, I am my katke, I'm my katka, I'm my katkia, my Hoshi amam katka, sia. Hi, amama katke, shishia, namaka, tikitkia, namaka. Hi, amama katke, namaka, shishia, namaka, sia, mama katke, shishia, tatka. Thank you. That last part there was just me saying thank you to all the groups and all the beings that were with us. Those really high-pitched sounds just closer to the end here were from the thank you from the dolphin and the whale and the cetacean collective, all the beings that are in the waters across various worlds. I'm so grateful, and they do a lot for our planet as far as crystalline energies and amplifying the vibrations for the oceans, because that's how our whole world is. Thank you, Mother Father. I'm just doing clearing now. Thank you, that was profound. Thank you, Mother Father. Thank you, Mother Father. Thank you, Holy Creators. So usually at the end, those are my invocations of gratitude and appreciation for all of the collectives that are assisting in these movements of energy and the sacred gift that is the blessing of who we are and who we've been blessed as. So thank you very much for allowing me that co-creation with you, knowing that there is much play and much sacredness and much gratitude for us to move and being playful and dancing and showing our children and showing other collectives that we're meant to play. We're meant to be in the birthright of our sovereignty. We're meant to be the exploration and the beauty of all that we are is beautiful sacred energy coming together in sacred geometry, like a beautiful puzzle, like a beautiful tapestry that we're all weaving together in our unique ways. We offer these templates and these codes for you to go about and play, for you to go about and be your highest and be your best. For the world is requiring your sacred sound. The world is requiring your sacred play. And that's how we become a higher vibrational template of love and light. And we thank you so much for being playful with us today. Step through that new door, level up, take lead, and allow yourself to know that you are the gift, you are the blessing that has come here just to be you. And in doing so, the all is served. And we thank you so much. We love you so much. Thank you, Holy Creators, and thank you, the Holy Christ. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, angels, and thank you, Spirit. Thank you, fairies, for being with us in these co-creations today. We thank you, Spirit. Thank you so much. Bye.